It's going down like this, motherfucker.
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog need. Slop Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What? You got to have vision.
Limousine, and every time I'm seen, I got to be clean.
Europeans come to this continent, literally ethnically cleanse the indigenous population out of existence, kill them on a scale that has hardly been equaled, and refer to them as savages. That's an achievement. Who's the savage? The first time I encountered this was in a little town in Massachusetts called Deerfield. It's a reconstruction of what that little town looked like in colonial America. And in front of each house is a plaque that explains something about this house. And then description. On the 18th of October of 1702, the savages attacked. The first time I saw this, the savages. You come in here, destroy everything these people have, and they are the savages. That's an interesting move.
It is.
You know?
I hadn't thought of that before.
Think about it.
Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the cosmic swap.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and...
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. Yes, he destroy black boys. Yes, he destroy black boys.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
I just left a light in this bitch. I'm finna hit the shop in this shit.
Hey, where are the white women at?
It's cool enough just being cool, like I am. You don't understand.
Joe feet. He looked down, seen her feet. The nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators. I mean,
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deeply.
Physical and mental torture.
that's all right, because we said even before this happened, and we're going to say it after this, and after I'm locked up, and after everybody's locked up, that you can jail revolutionaries, but you can't jail a revolution. Bang. The party, that they can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that. You're going to have to say that I am a proletarian. I am the people. I'm not the pig. You got to make a distinction. And the people are going to have to attack the pigs.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama. And you
decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky? You got to pray to God and tell God your rent due. Any God that didn't know your rent was due ain't God.
Some people, they feel like you almost have to sell your soul to get fame, or is it just hard work, or is it luck, is it consequence, is it?
No, most of us in sold our soul. We just called it something else.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
No idea the condition that we're in, the psychoneurosis that we suffer. We suffer terrible, terrible blight. We don't know who we are. We use European names, and we just are comfortable with our condition. We really don't know who we are. We have no idea. We're captive, and we're absolutely comfortable with this situation.
Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only Galactic Daddy-O, welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. Well, that is my cue to come on in and say what is happening to everyone. And hope you had a good weekend. Again, this is the show. Oh, well, I am Big Pontiac, up here in Minnesota. This is the show where we go over a bunch of different stuff. But I'm going over the game and some things I saw during the game. And the funnest part to me is that I get to wear the Eagle gear for another week. At least another week. I can just be all around eagled up for at least another week. Now, some of y'all can't say that. Y'all like the Minnesota gear. I didn't put that shit in the box. That shit's back in storage until next year. I'm not going to wear any Viking stuff, not on the show, until at least August. In August, July is when camp starts. So I promise not to wear any Viking gear on this show, at least not until at least camp start. Now, if the Eagles lose next week, this gear's getting put up too. So, but let me see if I can show. I guess I'm gonna start with the Detroit game, and that was one that the bookies probably killed on that. Yeah, maybe this will give it what I'm looking for. Because I noticed some things early in the
destiny
game
finds you.
that
Unless your dad
Detroit
and
was
brother
doing.
when you have a quarterback destiny instead.
Glenn got out schemed. I think is it Alan Glenn or Terry Glenn? I forget which Glenn it is, but the defensive coordinator for the Lions was out schemed. He got out schemed. He got totally out schemed. Again, we know it's the script, but some of the script is kind of go. But the moment,
great to have you aboard tonight, and here we go.
What I saw is an important moment in the game.
And short kick that is going to go out of bounds, and that's not the way you want to start because the Lions will start on the 40-yard line.
And this Lions offense rarely gives those negative plays.
And again, we look at what the Commanders scheme with. This is how the Commanders schemed them all night. All night. Now, technically, what do you think? You look back here and you think they're in zone. But if you look at this coverage, this could easily fall back into man. You dig? This could easily fall back to man. You know, you got linebacker looking at this dude because that's who he's going to take. He's got him there. He's going to cover the flat. So this is pretty much the scheme they gave him with. They fought him all night with basically just 4 people. Just 4 people. They fought him all night with basically 4. They rushed 4 on him. And they flustered him.
Like that in the run game. This sets him back to
they got out coached on both sides of the ball.
13 to be exact. Scott with time. Looks to rip over the middle. Incomplete. Behind Tim Patrick, the receiver that time.
Receivers and the receivers. Like one thing you might have to love. Okay. Now this is what. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is how they started off their defense in the first half. This is really what they did. You know, the 4-man line. And this is almost, I think they call it the 52. The Chicago used to do the 52 look where they would stack these 2 players here. But again, they're trying to cover the 2 tight ends. So do you see how the adjustment they made? They brought both safeties down. Now this was there, and this left plenty of gaps, especially once he broke the pocket here. There's really no help. When he would break the pocket and run, look at the way they're schemed. Look at the way they're schemed. So he was killing them with this. He was killing them when they was in this look. Again, you got tight ends blocking safeties. You dig? I mean, already there's an advantage if they go here. You got the tight end blocking safeties. You want them on the line like this. Do you see that? This is a clear advantage. And this is 5-on-4. It's always 5-on-4 unless they blitz. But you see this look here. And again, they're out schemed on this play. And that's why they ran the ball effectively the whole game. But you see this? They're out schemed right now. Right now. And they can even run us some trap action here. Set him up. Or even trap and set him up. You know, bring him across. He hits here. But I mean, this right here just shows you how they weren't prepared. They weren't prepared. And they were out schemed. But that's not the defense I'm looking for. There's another defense.
Gets it out. There is McLaurin. He's got a seam and has a first down. Terry McLaurin.
And this is again, I'm going through highlights. Okay. Now let me see if I can show this. Let me see. Go back a little bit. Well, I can show this. So what they tried to do is, now that last play I showed, they blocked. They blitzed. They blitzed the linebacker. Okay, they blitzed him, but he was on the other side, which the writing was up here. So look at how they're trying to scheme now. They're trying to put Akers. Again, he's shooting the gap here. He's good. And I don't know if they run a loop or anything, but this is the second adjustment they tried to make. Again, you can run on this all day. Okay, this is one of the adjustments they tried to make. Again, he's clearing out. He's going to have to guard him. I mean, there's no way to get around it. Who's guarding him? If he don't guard him, who's got him? So we already know he's occupied. And look at him. It looks like he's looking over here. So he's already occupied with this receiver. And again, these two dudes is blitzing. So he has to cover him because he's blitzing and he's blitzing. All right? But that wasn't a telling play. That wasn't a telling play. And I hope they show, let me see. I hope they show the
for 18.
I hope they show
He's going to take the snap.
I hope
now
they
he's in
show
trouble. He's
the
dropped.
play where
He was
safety,
trying to flip it, but he got tied up, and the Lions make
I
a
called that
stand.
before it even came. I looked at that. I said, if that safety
And the
crashes
Lions are
down,
1 3 and
this
out on
is
the
a
roper will
touchdown.
take over, and here's Goff. Back to throw, protected.
Again,
Deep out
outstanding the
Williams.
whole
Jameson
game,
Williams has a
offense and
connection up to the 48. He goes, and a dime from Goff.
180 was it?
Here's Jahmyr Gibbs getting a carry right side, sprinting through the hole. First down for Gibbs inside the 40,
didn't have
and still
an answer
chugging.
for him. He was a little quicker. The other back, Montgomery,
use a little tempo of their own.
He was kind of banged up, so he didn't have that many carries. So.
Got him. Sees Gibbs. He's
Good one.
wide open. No one there.
Number
First
26
down.
to
Gibbs
back.
makes a cut
He's one of the
inside
few
the
players
15.
that gave Washington some issues. He gave Washington some issues. The holes were just big.
Gibbs again. As again outside, cuts up the field, inside the 5.
I mean, they had issues with him.
So they didn't mark him short. Second down and 1 it is. Here's Montgomery in the game. Looking, spinning, and down to the 1.5. He goes for Dorrance Armstrong, brings him down.
And they're really running it behind this offensive line, and they got their extra lineman in there, Skipper. See if they give it to Gibbs.
They will. Left side. Gibbs! Touchdown, Detroit.
He did the Kevin Garnett dance, made fun of him right before. And people forget when Kevin Garnett did that
down
dance,
a bunch of pass rushes, and now
this is a play. This is okay. Now this is what they tried to counter with. When Glenn made his adjustment, this is what he tried to counter with. Now, if you see this look here, looks like he's blitzing, but if not, he's guarding him. He's guarding him, and we pretty much are looking at a zone. We're pretty much looking at them zone. Now, of course, they're going to have to go man to man, but they're pretty much in the zone look here. If you kind of look at what they're trying to get here, and he's blitzing. I think we can run him a little bit.
Out a bunch of really good men.
See, and this was their answer. This is, and really, if you look at, let me see. Okay, that's gone. Let me see. Let me get this further back.
Gibbs, touchdown, Detroit.
There's something that was attacked. He fucked up the Garnett dance. And remember, before Garnett did that dance, he tore his Achilles. Okay. This now, I'm going to show later in the game, but this is what Glenn was starting to come up with. Glenn was starting to go 4-3. This what's his answer. And this was his adjustment. Is he's going 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Old defense. An old defense. But this is what he moved to. He ended up, this was his counter for the running quarterback. He uses this safety as another linebacker with him bringing pressure. That was their answer, is to run a 4-3. Old-fashioned defense. Again, they give him gap here, they give him gap, and then he's got the outside crash. But that was his answer. And I want to get a little further in this so I can...
down a bunch of pass rushers, and now down a bunch of really good man coverage players in the secondary.
Daniels fires it near side.
And
Complete.
again,
There's
they fell back in that
He's
zone.
got first down.
They ate the zone up. Okay, again, we've got another look of Glenn trying to figure out how to stop the offense. Okay, so look what he's done this time. He's pretty much got all DBs in here now. He's got the one line. Well, is this the safety or the DB? I think this is number 32. So this is his solution, is to bring more DBs in. And again, because they're spread out, and that's his ideas. They're so spread out. Now you got to have DBs in here. But look at this. Look at this. So now they switch to a 4-2. And, they got all the safeties and the extra backs in here. And so he's got him guessing so much, off steady so much, that again, nothing he did really worked. He got out schemed and he got out coached. Both of them got out coached. But I want to see that touchdown where they run that.
They go 5 wide, 4-man
And that
rush.
was his answer.
Daniels has time, rips one near side. He's got a first down. A dart to Crowder from Daniels on point, and they convert.
They never hardly did that. Okay, now again, when I'm talking about them being in the 4-3, again, this is straight 4-3. Now they're looking like this is man because he is there. Now, what did they do later in the game? This is exactly, look when they giving you the trips look. Remember what they did before. When they got the touchdown, and I called it. I was like, let me see what he's going to do. I paid attention to him. He crashes down. Remember, when they did it before, they let me see. He came in. That's what happened, is he came in. So when they did it before, this player came in. He wasn't flanked out so far. He came in. But they just wanted to see, how they were going to attack this. They were setting it up for later in the game. And what they did is when they saw this again, they made him come down. This DB up here, he comes down. And so again, and these DBs are up. They didn't stay so far back. They both came up. And so what you had is you had a receiver and 2 blockers, and he broke through the middle of them. But you see how they're setting them up? They're looking at how they're reacting, and this is how he's reacting. They did on the touchdown, they did this very same thing. This was his answer, is he went 4-3. That was pretty much Glenn's solution. He started going more and more of this 4-3. So let me see if I can find the touchdown later in the game, because it was the second half.
Looking, going deep again, trying for Brown. He's got it.
And Goff sucked. Wait, man, did I miss it? I want to show that touchdown trips.
All right, look, I told you what it was. I told you I'm going to run this post. I told you I'm going to cut left.
He's absolutely loved it.
3rd and 11. Penalty flag flies. Daniels rips it over the middle, and it is knocked away, incomplete. But let's see, as Arnold on the play. Takes it down, and he's got a first down.
Show you how they set everything.
Good job containing him on the... I've never seen that in my life.
Wasn't it?
Done a good job containing him on those scrambles thus far.
They're blitzing again. Here comes Blaze. Daniels gets away from him, turns on the speed. First down for Daniels.
They had no answer for the running.
Chugging his way inside the 30.
None of this surprises me.
Quarter. I think it was 4th quarter when he got that screen touchdown.
Daniels gonna keep. Gets rid of it. Hurts. And he's stepped up. Terrion Arnold made the play.
Players on defense. So the screen touchdown.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's the biggest drive of their season. They've got probably 2.
Let's see.
Looking to throw it. Going to throw it downfield. Intercepted.
And his bad passes. Goff's bad passes.
Room to roll. Down to the 30.
Screen touchdown. I know y'all showed the screen.
Spinning, still up on his feet.
That was a perfect example.
Incomplete. He threw it behind McLaurin.
Must be later. And the way they ran the ball on him.
Great catch by St. Brown. Same
big deal.
3rd and 10 gives him.
Arenas later in the game.
How Zach Ertz corrals up tight ends. 3rd and 6. Right up the middle it goes to Robinson. Going to be short.
Okay, I could even show this a little bit. Let me see. This ain't quite the screen, but just the way they're.
The backup tight ends.
Get it set. All right. Now this is okay. So I'm not in the screens again. This shows again. Look at the original look. It's almost a 4-3 again. But here they kind of run a 5. Actually, it's a 5-4, and then there's 3 deep. We got 3 deep. This is like a 5 because if you literally look. So this is man. We're straight man because he's in the gap, and they went 1. They ran, and the 46 defense is what I was looking for. That's this look. This look right here is a 46 defense look. And again, who's accounting for him? More than likely him. But they put him in this kind of formation a lot, and he just did not. Glenn didn't get it. Glenn did not get it. He was frustrated all day, Just as he did such a good job on the Vikings, he did a horrible job.
3rd and 6. Right up the middle it goes to Robinson. Going to be short.
And no one.
Another fourth down decision for Dan Quinn.
Big on
Zane Gonzalez for the Commanders to essentially put an end to it.
Play ain't in here.
We'll have a pulse.
A lot of great.
Close. I think a half yard short.
Nothing out of bounds.
He dives for it for a first down with the clock.
Where is the screen?
Go. 44 seconds.
Gave him a touchdown.
And Washington will be going to the NFC Championship for the first time in 33 years.
This is the end of the game. Where is the screen where he catches that touchdown? Because that's a perfect example. Is this it? They jumped on me and kicked me out.
Sunday.
Screenplay,
Time to suit up.
Half zip, quarter zip guy.
Sacrifice your lung.
Great to have you aboard, Tim.
Okay, I think this is everything we just watched. Is that it?
Leaves you 3 on 1.
This is it right here. Yeah, this is it. I found it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go back just a little further. This ain't it either. It's the next play. All right, I'm going to run it till I catch up on the next play.
2nd down, blitz coming. Daniels sees it, throws near side, has a completion, and that is good for a first down.
All right. And I'm sorry the words is in the way. But this is okay. So what you do is when you affect the defense, when you're attacking a defense, you set up formations to set them up later in the game. And you see if they do the same thing, it's kind of predictable. Now remember, last time we faced this trips, he was out here. Remember that? Last trips I showed you, that's how they face trips. But again, this is what they're scheming. They're scheming almost a 4-4 right here. See? They're almost a 4-4. Now he's responsible for him. But when I looked at this play, this is what I was looking at right here. I was looking at him. Because I was like, this is what's gonna make this play work or not. Because again, you got two. I'll let this run.
Daniels, quick throw.
See, I was the perfect call. You see, this was the perfect call. 32 crashes down.
Far side, get it out.
You got 2 men trying to stop 3 men and 2 perfect blockers. Now again, it's fixed, but I mean, it was just the perfect scheme. It was the perfect scheme. Terry Glenn got outcoached. He got outcoached, and Goff kind of blew up like we saw Goff do. But that's what you do when you set up plays. I'm sorry I ain't say what's happening to everybody. Dr. Sinister, what's happening?
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
PJ Allen, what's happening?
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
Detroit and Baltimore sold big time. Yeah, they did. Nicole B, what's happening?
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
Oh, 38 years. I mean, yeah, the Gamblers won on this one. They really won on this one. Now, the Chiefs game, again, what have I been saying what they want to do when they obviously, because it's obvious. And the thing that got me was when Pat Mahomes faked on the sideline. He flopped on the sideline because he's expecting to get that call. That's the treatment he's been getting is he gets those calls, Fired the coach right after the game. Oh, yeah, Terry Glenn was definitely out-schemed. I mean, totally out-schemed. They were beat on both sides of the ball, though. They were literally beat on both sides of the ball.
The bottom.
2nd down, blitz coming. Daniels sees it, throws near side, has a completion, and that is good for a first down.
But this is the kind of things like when they run formations and stuff, this is the kind of thing that they like to do. They like to set up and they like to look at how to react. Now, again, Detroit was looking to see what or the Commanders was really looking to see what he was going to do. Because remember, when they ran out of trips last time, they ran the ball. That's why he's crashing down, because they ain't got an answer for the running game. They do not have answers. So this was and this was like the first time I really paid attention to them. I was like, wow, they're going 3 linebackers. You know, they're running an old 4-3. And then with him makes it a 4-4. And this is all that's back there. It's just these 3. You see what I'm saying? They done put everybody up. Everybody's up. Everybody is expecting him to get the ball. Because again, what did we see? Last time they ran this formation, the back ran the ball. So that I was looking at him, and then Brady later showed how he crashes down. But when I was looking at this play, I was like, what is he doing? Because last time he was out here. And so, you know, look at how they put plays together to later give them a look. And then they're thinking, boom, last time they went trips, they running the ball. So he got outcoached. They did exactly what the offense wanted. Now, again, is this scripted? It could be. Very well, it is scripted, but that was the thing I noticed. And the Kansas City game, like it, see, they purposely made bad calls on purpose. Because what did I talk about for years? One thing that they like to do is they want the attention. See, what do they say? Any publicity is good publicity. Any publicity NFL, because again, it makes the event live longer. It makes the event live longer than the event. So they like that. They like that they can make that people's talking about it. They don't care, good, bad, they don't care. People are talking about it. And that's what they love. It's publicity for the NFL. So we already know it's scripted. But see, they made it very obviously. You know, it was too obvious. And again, the NFL doesn't like to get them close games all the time. And let's say about Jackson, when I made that video, let's see, let me show you. Jackson did fumble on purpose. He did fumble on purpose. Where is it at? Where's Jackson? Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. And Jackson definitely fumbles on purpose here.
Every time we caught on Lamar turning the ball over.
Does that.
Watch him just throw the ball away.
Look at that.
There was
right
no
on the
reason
ground.
for that ball
right
to
on
go
the ground.
on the
Just
field.
take it. Just take it.
He just threw it there for them to get.
Just take it. Right on the freaking ground.
He just threw it there for them to get. Let's see if they show another one.
Now remember, this is
Watch
the
him
same
just throw the ball
dude
down
that to
on
get a
purpose.
first down.
Watch.
Remember what he
throws
does.
it down once he gets pressure. Watch.
Look at that.
There was no
just
reason
have
for
it.
that.
Just have it.
There was
Just
no
have it.
reason for that. He
Totally
threw the ball
on
away on
purpose.
purpose. Again.
So totally on purpose. And remember, this is the same Lamar Jackson that years ago they needed 1 yard. He doesn't run to the hole where it's open. He turns his back and tries to get the yard backwards. This is the same Lamar Jackson that was MVP that year. Remember, he needed 1 yard to keep their drive going against Tennessee. And what does he do? He goes forward, then he turns his back. So we know he's with it. We know he's with it. And the script don't look like it's going to be for him. At least not to be a winner. Not yet. So. Oh, and this catch. We know he dropped this on purpose. We know he definitely dropped this on purpose. I don't care about the weather. He dropped this
Here
ball
we go
on
again.
purpose.
A scripted play, and he drops it on purpose. They have the technology.
He actually had 2 people open. He had 2 people
they
open.
don't want him to catch it. They tell him in his earbud to drop it. Then the technology doesn't help. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Look at that. 2 people open. He drops it on purpose.
What happens? The grip gloves ain't activated.
Drops it on purpose. And look at his head. Look at his body.
Obviously a drop on purpose.
I did what I was supposed to do. Doesn't that look like obedient
that's what they're
look?
scripted to do. Make it
Doesn't
look
that
good,
look
make
like
it
the
close,
obedient look? I
affect
did
the
what I
point
was
spread,
supposed to
affect
do.
everything. Why did he drop it?
Look at
Why
this.
did he
We
drop
know
it when
there's
they
grip
got grip
gloves.
gloves?
We know there's grip gloves.
Why did they drop it
If
when
they
they
want
have
the
grip
ball
gloves?
caught, they can make sure the ball's caught. He dropped it
See?
on purpose.
He dropped it on purpose.
He dropped it
And there
just
must
so
be
they
a way to
couldn't tie it in.
non-contact the ball. That's what I'm
Because
guessing.
again, grip gloves, I always
And
say
that's
they're
what we're
not
seeing here.
deactivated.
Is he didn't purposely try to contact the ball.
There could be some truth to that.
Again,
That they can
dropped on
activate
purpose.
them, deactivate them.
Here we go.
But Because remember, they can make remarkable catches like, where's the Lions game? Oh, here we go. All right. Here we go.
What do we got?
All right. You're telling me now. People
The
say, well,
catch.
he's indoors. It doesn't matter.
But we're
We've
grip
seen
gloves
bad catches made
involved.
in bad weather before.
Skid is worth showing.
Yeah, this was kind of clever.
You're digging a hole and rolling the body in the hole.
Or they think they're burying the Texans. I didn't get that.
All right, let's see.
But again, we know the capability of the gloves in any weather.
Look at that route.
Any weather. But if a dude can make this catch, any catch can be made.
All right,
Any
here's the
catch
shot.
can be
Here's the
made.
money shot.
Look at this. Look at this.
What do
That
you
ball's
think?
being
Grip
thrown
gloves?
hard.
The way he holds it with
And you
one
can tell
hand.
it's a grip
makes you
glove
think
catch
grip
is the way he
gloves.
cuddled it into his
Look at that
body
one again.
with one hand.
Here we go.
So, no excuse to say, oh, you need that TD to
Grip
do it.
gloves?
Yeah, he choked. And the way they tried to run it is he had a bad game. He had a bad game. And of course, the plays where they want you to keep
Another
talking
round
about
of
it
point
over and
shaving
over
for the
again.
NFL.
The phantom
Again, they're
penalties.
protecting their golden boy.
The phantom penalties.
But this is all point shaving.
Where they, the players are like,
There's
wow,
nothing,
what
a
can we
nothing
do?
play.
What can
Even
we
he's
do?
saying it's a nothing play. You see him, they made him miss the field goal, extra point. But
And he
this
was
is just
pissed. He
entirely
was saying
point
we
shaving.
was
This is
against
favoritism.
everybody.
We don't care how many times you replay it. Favoritism is favoritism. Because that's what they do. When we make these videos, they try to show a bunch of replays of the
They hit each
video.
other.
Look at that.
They
That's
hit each
nothing.
other.
Even the announcer says it's nothing.
Now the NBA can go back
Watch
and
again.
look if penalties ain't no
Nothing.
penalty. Why can't
His
they?
own man hit him in the head. That's who hit
Phantom
him in the
call.
head was
But
his
again,
own man.
They want you to talk about this.
Nothing.
They want you to talk about this. They hit each
Look at
other.
that. His own man hit him. No contact to Patty Mahomes.
Phantom call after phantom call. Now we don't need to
Another
talk
round
about
of
the
point shaving for the
Eagles. I didn't make
NFL.
any Eagle videos,
Again,
but
they're
the Eagles
protecting their
kicked some
golden
royal
boy.
ass today. You know that. And the difference between me and some of y'all is I get to wear my gear for a little longer, for at least another week, maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks. If we win next week, maybe 3. I'll say this. I thought that the scheme in the first half, they concentrated so much on Barkley, they forgot about everybody else. And then again, you knew that some point of the game, then the bad weather was going to affect the Rams. We knew that. I was a little surprised the slipping in the first half, knowing that this is your field, knowing it's supposed to be snowy, and like your choice of cleats. That was kind of odd, I thought, in the beginning of the game, But the Rams, again, Stafford is one of the last of the statues. Now, I'll tell you what I like better about Stafford and Hurst. Hurst still holds the ball too long. The play he got hurt, holding the ball too long. He still is so indecisive that he holds the ball too long. You ain't got nothing, fucking throw it away. And he won't do that. The play he got hurt was the same kind of thing. He took all them sacks because he holds the ball too much. He seems somewhat indecisive. And that was Donaldson's mistake. Donaldson holds the ball too long. He's so scared. Donaldson was so scared of throwing interceptions that he holds the ball too long. And I think Hurst is a little bit like that too, where he holds it too long. And so, but defensively wise, I mean, really, they got better. And even as the weather got worse, they made some good plays, especially the DBs. And again, the Rams is a one-trick pony. They got that back, and then they got number 17. Cooper Kupp is washed. I doubt he'll be with them next year. What they targeting twice, maybe 3 times. Number 17 is their big play guy. So Eagles handled them. The Eagles definitely handled them. And let me see. You think they're gonna bring back the '92 Super Bowl? Very well could be. Very well could be. Who was the '92? Very well could be. The Giants and the Bills. Maybe Giants and the Bills again. I'm kind of leaning to Bills Eagles a little bit. That's kind of where I'm leaning to. Bills Eagles. I doubt they give it to the Bills, but we'll see. The Bills have never won. Now this would be the tell. Like right now, we know the Bills have never won, and they went 4 years. They're the only team that went 4 times in a row. Chiefs now could possibly go 3 times in a row. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills win next week, but if the Bills, so if the Bills face either the Commanders or even if they face the Eagles, they're facing 2 teams that have already won Super Bowls. And we know how teams that ain't won the Super Bowls, they tend not to let them win Super Bowls. I mean, again, Detroit probably had the best team this year, but, they didn't let them go. So that just shows you how they treat teams that haven't won the Super Bowl. If it's the Bills, it's a good possibility that the NFC team's going to win. If it's the Bills, if they let the Bills go through. Now, if it's a replay of the Chiefs and the Eagles, I don't know. I mean, another part of the Chiefs game is that number 74 allowed to, remember when they played the Ravens, the first game of the year, the Ravens and the Chiefs, how they called all them penalties for the Ravens lining up too far back? Chiefs did that every play. And several plays where he jumped and they didn't call it. They talk about how he's the most penalized player, but again, they didn't penalize him. I don't think the Chiefs got called for holding the whole game. I don't think one time did the Chiefs get called for holding, and so they let that go. So I'm not surprised that the Ravens lost. I mean, again, Lamar got his. If Lamar ever makes it, more than likely they're gonna let him win because they've won 2 already. Yeah, I see Bills versus Redskins. Yeah. So could be. If it is the Bills and the Redskins, I would say the Redskins gonna win. If we see that, I would say if the Bills go in, whoever they play is gonna win. If they let the Bills go, if it's Chiefs, Eagles again, we kind of got a replay, and they might let the Eagles win this time. But if we see the Chiefs and we see Commanders, I don't know if they're going to, because again, we're looking at dark skin, light skin, which is the same thing with Hurst, but that's what they love, dark skin, light skin. So either quarterback goes in, it's going to be dark skin, because they were saying, all the brothers, in these games was brothers, but Stafford and the Bills linebacker or quarterback. So, if it's 2 brothers, it's going to be light skin, dark skin, whoever Mahomes faces. And when we see that, they tend to want to favor the light skin. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. Yeah, the 91-92 season. Yeah. I just had to remind. And what was up with the player who threw his helmet? What was up with him? Didn't he just make a tackle? Didn't he make a tackle on the kickoff and he fucking threw his helmet? Or did they call a penalty on him? Didn't he just make a tackle on the kickoff and then threw his helmet, celebrating through his helmet and then pushed the coach? I would have fined him his last check. That's detrimental behavior to the team. To me, that shit cost him a check, because that's no way to act. Didn't nobody tell him to throw that helmet? Let's see. Let's see if they show it. Let's see. I don't want to see him push the coach. I want to see the whole play.
I've got this dream.
Yeah, because it was a kickoff.
And you're all in it.
Let's hear it.
With Wells Fargo Premier,
yeah, it was just a kickoff. All it was a kickoff.
Remigio on the return. Miko spins. Still going. Bends it back and
makes
down.
The tackle.
Ball comes out.
And look at him celebrating.
And we'll see who comes away with it right out of the gate.
That's all it was he made a tackle.
Chris Boyd made the stop, and the ball came out.
I didn't think they got the ball. See, they didn't even
Kansas City ball.
They didn't even make a a fumble.
Ruling on the field was a
In the
fumble,
meantime,
however,
this
recovered by
motherfucker
the
done threw his
Chiefs.
helmet off.
1st and 10.
Oh, they didn't show him. Oh, okay, here we go.
Samaje Perine ends up recovering the fumble.
Dude
That ball
fumbles,
was
but they don't
definitely
recover.
out of the arm
He
of
don't
Nico
recover.
Remigio.
Boy, Samaje Perine, he was right there to fall on it and just unable to do so. Kansas City with the big return.
After the play
catches
was
a
over.
big
So why
break,
was
being
he
able
so
to get
hung
that
on
one
that
once
play?
it came
Houston,
loose.
number
They ain't even
17
showing him throw his
for
helmet.
throwing his helmet. The penalty will be enforced half the
Why ain't he
distance to
showing
the
him throw
goal.
his helmet?
First down.
And Chris Boyd, who made the tackle. Nico Remigio.
There we go.
And then the penalty on Chris Boyd, who shoves his
showing
special
his
teams
helmet.
coach Frank Ross. The
What is he
defense
mad
good
at the
enough to
coach
hold
for? You the
KC to
dumbass
3.
that just made a tackle and then you throw your helmet across the field. I mean, this shows the young people's behavior entitlement. You know, he can't take the criticism that he just cost them 15 extra yards that led to their first touchdown. Now, again, it could be his script, and he's pissed that was his script. But that just made no sense. That made no sense. I guess he was like, that's his minute of fame. Yeah, they didn't show him throw his helmet. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see him throw his helmet. Let me see. I
Okay,
think this
first
is the
play
same thing. I don't think they show him throw his helmet. Let's see.
Fumble like we probably recovered because there were some Texans players in the area.
Oh, here we go. They show him throw his helmet. This is a dumbass, man. I mean, this dude is a dumbass. Let's see here.
See him right over here. He's going
Look
to
at
toss
this.
his helmet.
Look at this. What
That's
was
an
the point
automatic
of this?
15-yard penalty. There's no debate. You toss your helmet
He
onto,
ain't
you
nowhere
take your
near
helmet
the
off on the
sideline.
field of play. As long as the refs see it, sometimes they
would
miss
he
it.
throw
But
his
as long as they
helmet
see
off?
it, they're going to throw the
He wanted
flag. It's
everybody
going to
to
be 15
recognize him?
yards. His special teams coach gets mad at him,
Then
and
go
then
get
Chris
mad at
Boyd
the
shoves
coach?
his special team coach, which is something I don't know if I've seen too often there. There was the
They
Travis
gonna get
Kelce
mad
and
at the
Andy Reid
fucking
thing.
coach. They didn't get in between them. Yeah, they didn't. They let him push him. I would have sent him to the locker room. And I know, the other problem with sending him to the locker room is this time of year, a lot of people's hurt. You see, the Eagles was down to like practice team player DB because number 34, they was fucking him up. And then did y'all notice they interviewed number 34 after the game? Robertson, I think is his name. This dude was getting fucked up. Every time he gets in there, they go at him. Because the other dude, number 27 maybe, got hurt. The other DB got hurt. He hurt his shoulder. The rookie who started in front of him. Then they interview this dude after the game. I'm like, this is too much. This is too much. So I don't know what, that's got to be some kind of, like, why throw your helmet? You had to be recognized that much? But that just shows, spoiled behavior. That's totally spoiled behavior. That's what that shows. Totally spoiled behavior. And entitlement. Oh, they got to see me. So, there's some shit I wanted to talk to. Okay, the last game was the Ravens. I wasn't impressed by either team on offense or defense. I thought the Ravens gave away a lot of plays. It's like the easy thing about the Ravens quarterback is he runs straight up. He doesn't have any juke. So I know the man is like Steve Young. He reminds me a lot of the size of Steve Young, but I think Steve Young was probably faster. He's probably a little stronger. People forget Steve Young about 6'4". He probably played at 225, 230. And this guy's a lot like that. But Steve had a slashiness to him. Change of direction. This dude ain't got no change of direction. He's just a big stiff board. So that's, he could get popped and put out of a game very easily just because of his running style. So we'll see. I wasn't impressed on either. Let me see. I'll look up some of this. No, I want to pivot out. So I'll go over their scheme some other time. So we know, when we see the sacrifices, and this is a day or two ago, so Yeah, here we go. When we get into the morbid news, this was probably the biggest one. Oh shit. Nah, well, I guess. Yeah, I guess this is not his thing though. This didn't give me what I wanted. Let's see. Okay, Okay, this is what I wanted. It took me into Pinterest. All right, the biggest death we saw during these playoffs was clearly Bob Uecker. Now, those of you that don't know who he was a very inconsequential player who had a colorful career after football. Became a very colorful personality after football, mostly as a broadcaster. I want to say he won the, let's see. Yeah, World Series champion in 64. I think he caught Bob Gibson in the 64 championship. In the 64 championship, I think he caught Bob Gibson. So he did play in the World Series. And again, he died the 16th. And so this was the biggest death we've seen during this playoff so far. What is the movie? Yeah, Major League. He's funny as fuck in Major League. If you want to see how funny he is, watch Major League. He's funny as fuck in Major League. Raised in Milwaukee. Okay. Switzerland people. It's Army service. Oh, this mug was in the Army. Played minor league, and he played with the Eau Claire Bears. I think they still exist. Made his major league debut in 62. He served as the third string catcher behind Joe Torre. Yeah, the manager Joe Torre. He appeared 9 games in 63 before he demoted to the minors. Before 64 season, the Braves he was traded to the Cardinals, minor leaguers. So he started with who? Blah, 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 Joe Torre. So then he was traded to the Cowboys. The Braves. He started with the Braves. I'm sorry, the Milwaukee Braves. Then he was traded to the Cardinals. And he seldom played, but was a member of okay, so he didn't catch Bob Gibson. I thought he said one time he did. So he didn't play, but he got a World Series ring. So he got traded to the Phillies. 67, traded back to the Braves. A below average hitter. He finished a career with average of 200. He was generally considered to be a sound defensive and committed very few errors. Clay's career with a high fielding percentage. He became a broadcaster. Baseball season, made radio comment for the University of Wisconsin commentator. During his Brewers tenure, Uecker mentored Paul Hughes and Joe Block. And he called the 82 World Series locally for the Brewers. He served as a color commentator, Major League. And so that's what we know him for, as kind of like a Yogi Bear kind of dude, kind of a baseball clown. But right now, he's the biggest sacrifice. And the other on the morbid news would be... Nope. And those of you that know basketball, okay. And those of you that know basketball would know Gus Williams. And Gus Williams, I think didn't Seattle win back to back? Gus, like this is maybe they'll say it in his bio. Let's see if they say it in his bio. Because I want to say he is one of 3 brothers. I want to say Sugar Ray Williams. They called him Sugar Ray Williams was his brother. I'm pretty sure. So Gus played National Basketball League, nicknamed the Wizard, 2-time All-Star, playing for Seattle. And when they only won in 79. Played college he went to the Trojans, Golden State in the second half. He later played for the Warriors, Supersonics, Washington, but he peaked His peak career was with Golden State, Seattle, excuse me. Williams was born in Mount Vernon. He played high school ball at Mount Vernon High, where he was selected Player of the Year in 1971 by New York. He played college at Southern Cal. Selected second round by Golden State, and the first round by the St. Louis Spirits. Good he didn't go with them because they only lasted one season. Signed with the Warriors, was named All-Rookie in his first season. Williams played 2 seasons with the Warriors before he's allowed to leave as a free agent in the 78-70 sign. And when he signed with the Supersonics. While with Seattle, Williams twice selected All-Star and first team, All-NBA first team. Second team in 80. Section Williams' style of play earned him a nickname the Wizard, led by the Sonics' 79 title, averaging 28.6 in the finals. Yeah, he hooped. Williams out the entire season due to while in his prime, Williams sat out the entire 80-81 season due to a contract dispute. He returned in 81, named NBA Comeback Player of the Year. He played 2 more seasons after that, and he was traded to Washington for Ricky Sobers and the draft rights to Tim McCormick. He finished his career with 17 points, an average spanning 12 years. Number 1 jersey retired by USC. Williams' younger brother, Ray. Yeah. And they had I think there was even another brother, but his younger brother was Ray Williams. They called him Sugar Ray Williams. So Williams suffered a stroke in 2000, later moved to assistant care. He died from complications at the age of 71. So he'd already had a stroke. So that just shows you how lucky I am. So if you guys aren't hip to Gus Williams could go. He could definitely go. That 70 season, because remember, his other guard was Dennis Johnson, where Dennis Johnson was, I think, Rookie of the Year. Dennis Johnson later, they played in the Celtics dynasty, but it was first. He played with him and Gus Williams, and he was a lockdown as a young player. Dennis Johnson was a lockdown guard, and he was a bigger guard, I think, at 6'3", 6'4". But Gus Williams was so fast. Okay, in the morbid news, we got... they stopped dropping all over the country. Veteran NBC News correspondent dies at 71. This chick, Elizabeth Nielsen, she died on the 7th, 3 days after her. Wow. Now, I'd like the Gematria people to see that. 3 days after her 71st birthday. As stories, World News Tonight, the Evening Princess Diana died. Worked on CNN, Wall Street Journal, Newsweek, co-founders of NBC Learn. So... all right. Cowboys get lucky. Oh, what does this say? Cowboys get lucky in the pursuit of Glenn. Is that what that said? Did I miss it? Oh, thought I saw something about Glenn in here. I guess not. Thought I saw something about Glenn in here. Oh, they say right here, Dion declined the Cowboys. Yeah, it'd be stupid to leave for that job. You got total power, declines Cowboy jobs, calls it incredibly foolish. Nah, why give up all that power and control? There's a lot of bread. There's a lot of bread in Denver. So he don't need the bread that they got. He can have total control. So why wouldn't you want total control? At least that's how I would want it. Why would I put myself? Oh, it says right here, Cowboys coach search rumors, Jerry Jones intrigued by Aaron Glenn. Usually he hires offensive coordinating coaches. McCarthy was offensive coordinator before, and he called the plays when he won the Super Bowl. So we already saw him exposed. I hope his loss and them only losing their first game doesn't hurt his coaching possibilities, Aaron Glenn. I hope it doesn't. So, I mean, would he be a good fit? Does the Cowboys, need a defensive coach? Perhaps. I just don't know if he can change the culture down there. Jerry Jones ain't going to give him what he needs. I've said this before. All Jerry Jones wants is the highest paid quarterback so he can brag about it. That's all he wants. He wants to say, I've got the highest paid quarterback. That makes him happy. Long as he can say he's got that. And it's kind of, culturally insensitive too, because it's, oh, okay, we got another baseball player. See? And wait till we get in that 2-week Super Bowl. Former AL Manager of the Year dies at 83. Why is my mother's name? Who is this? Former Jeff Torborg. Torborg. He played too. 83. He was a catcher and a player. Played from 64. He spent 7 seasons with the Dodgers and World Series. Won a World Series with him in 65. He played with Sandy Koufax. He spent 70 with the Angels. Mentioned 5 different in his career stint. With the Cleveland, Chicago, New York, Montreal. He won the manager in 90 after leading the White Sox to a 94-68. So, Jeff Torborg, I remember him. So, Isaac Gillum. So, again, are we surprised they picked today? Or what is this? Let me see. What day was this released? What day was this released? Oh, they just released this. So, he died when? What day? They don't actually give you the day he died. Sunday. He died. So what was Sunday? The 20th? 19th. So he died on the 19th. Okay. So he died on the 19th. So, as I say, we always see this. We always see this pattern of people that took that drink. You took that drink from the cup. When it's time to get you, they get you. Now, this dude here, I don't know if we can count him. He wasn't really nobody. It says Charles Pearson, youngest of the original Freedom Riders, dies. Okay. You got harassed on the bus when you went down south. What does it say? Lamar did? Lamar's unloads profanity-laced tirade on Ravens after loss to Bills. He cussed everybody out? Let's see this. Let's see what Lamar said to these motherfuckers. Lamar Jackson uploads profanity tirade to the Ravens. What about you, dude, and turning the ball over? Quarterback didn't mince words after his team exited in unceremonious fashion yet again. Jackson spoke with reporters following his team's loss on the road, including 3 Baltimore turnovers compared to none by the team. 2 of those were credited with Jackson himself. Turnovers, we can't have that. Shit. That's why we lost the game. As you can see, moving the ball wonderfully. It's just hold on to the fucking ball. I'm sorry, my language is annoying. I'm tired of this shit. But you had 2 turnovers, buddy. You had 2 of them. So you can't say shit to nobody, anyone. You can't say shit to anyone unceremoniously. Okay, there we go. Got it to roll off my tongue. No, but he's part of the script. Don't think he's not. He is part of the script. Yeah, we got him already. We did him last week. Yeah, it looks like all the morbid deaths this weekend. So, how long I've been going? I ain't gonna go on very long. I'm late taking my pills, so I gotta kind of bump. But PJ Allen, I know you're gonna enjoy this part. So part of my show is also talking about gear. Oh shit! Let me. Speaking of gear, let me pivot right here. Let me pivot and see if this saved for me. Because I saved it on my phone, so I'm going to see if it's saved for me. Here we go. Now, I often talk about the really most comfortable shoe that came out early, and it was this. This is the Shaq, and it's called the Shaq. When I wrote it down here, Shaq Dunk Mob Mid. This was a hell of a comfortable shoes. I think they call this Hexalite. You talking about finally a shoe that was totally soft. It was this shoe right here. This was a great shoe. It really was one of the first truly, the Answers. Again, I mentioned the Answers. The Answers was a great soft shoe, but before the Answer was this one. I loved hooping in this. I really loved hooping in this. And it was light, a super light shoe as well. Super light. Now, the Answer was a next step above because the way the Answer's bottom was. I was trying to see, did I save one from? But this was a great shoe. Shaq Dunk Mob was a great shoe. And let's see if I saved. Oh, now this, I've said this before. The pair I had, all this was blue. Not this was blue. The whole shoe was blue, but this part. I don't think there was any white. I don't know. Again, we're talking alone. Let me see. My son is almost 30. I own this pair with my son was so around 95. I bought these in 95, and I want to say it was all blue. I want to say this yellow wasn't there, that everything was blue, but this is what was on the sole. Oh my goodness, these were so comfortable. And I remember when I played in them, I played them semi-pro winter, and then I think I played outdoors with them, and I think that's what finally killed them was outdoor play. But I remember the first time I got these, I killed these mugs in the Macker. I had bought them from one of my friends, brand new. When he brought me the box, he said, I figure you want the box. And I killed him. I wore him in the Macker, brand new Macker. Hexalite from Reebok's the Great Soul Technology. I have the white and red and gold answer. Okay. But yeah, mine was all blue. I'm pretty sure. Now, maybe this was white, but I want to say all this was blue. Now, that probably wasn't blue, but I think this was blue, and I'm pretty sure the sole was blue. But it was this patent leather. And these, man, I loved hooping in these. These was a gray shoe. And my only thing is, like, when I ended up getting the John Walls, I started seeing they was making the toes narrow. And even the questions toes wasn't narrow. Not at first. They weren't narrow like they are now. Like now you going to buy a pair of questions and they're narrow as fuck at the toe. So no, I think these are Grant Hills. Are these Grant Hills? Oh, they call these the Jerry Stackhouses. Okay. Sorry shoe. And I think Stack wore them before Grant Hill, I think. But they wasn't wearing them in Detroit because of Stackhouse. So with that said, you know me, part of the show is gear. So my wife just came home today and she bought me these JTs. She said because it kind of matched my LeBrons a little bit with the color schemes, but these are JTs. And what's interesting is like you got mesh here, you got mesh right there, but that could be leather here. That could be leather down the side here all the way back. And then you've got the print that they do like on the LeBrons and the Giannis's. They gave you that print in here. I mean, the detail is great. Now, they fit through the size. Nikes tend to run a little small, so that's why I wear 14s, because by the time I put my insert, the 14s, I think I'm going to go play pickleball in these tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I think so. So my wife brought these home. So, you know, I go up to the mall now that the weather's a little colder. I go up to the mall and try to get 15 minutes of walking in. You know, when I feel up to it, I'm going to have to start putting my knee braces on because my knees, the last couple of times I've been walking, I ain't put my knee braces on. And I might even play pickleball tomorrow if the school is open at night. I'm not sure. I have to check. Because I signed up for a league from now to March. Play every Monday night. And then I think I'm going to join Lifetime and then play Lifetime just to get back in shape. I'm feeling a lot better. But, you know, like when you go into the stores and you see something. So I looked at these shoes for about 3-4 days. And I was like, man, I talked to my man, Anthony, that works up in Dick's Sports. And, you know, I just when I go in there, I just see what they got in there. Because I've got the app. I've ordered for the app often. And I just, you know, go in there because it's the way to go into the mall. And I walk around the mall. So the first night I went in there, I saw these shoes and I went and tried them. I saw them earlier in the day when I walked, and I thought my wife might want to go back to Macy's because we got a Macy's that's closing. And this is what's funny. The Macy's is closing. Everything is pretty much 25%. It's a sign up to 50%. It's very little in there. Matter of fact, their Christmas sale and after Christmas sale was up to 50, 60% on some of that stuff in there. Now you're going out of business and your stuff is only 25% off. Not very big. You mean to tell me Minnesota don't have none of the one that we can change. Let me show you what we got, buddy. We got minus 10 at this moment we speaking. Minus 10 feels like minus 17. Do you know how quick you get hypothermia when because the wind makes it feel like minus 17. So tonight you see, and then tomorrow it's gonna be pretty much, during the day. It's gonna be cold tomorrow for King Day. So I might go play pickleball. I probably will. Hell, 6 to 9. Shit, I ain't gonna be outside. But this is what we facing. Minus. So tomorrow, it's Monday right now, minus 18. Supposed to get minus 18. So yeah, we got it. We definitely got it here, baby. That shit it's out there. That hawk is out there. That's why if I go out during the daytime, I'm wearing one of my furs. You can believe that. I'm wearing one of the furs tomorrow. Shit, that shit. Or have to take my storm coat back out, my Tommy. Yeah, oh man, I'm telling you, it's colder than a motherfucker up here. I was just taking out the trash into my garage, and my cold water's line is frozen. Luckily, I don't think it'll break because the hot water line is still going. But my cold water line in my kitchen, it's the only one. We've got 3 bathrooms here, 2 full, 1 half bath. And so, yeah, all the bathrooms water was fine. All the bathroom water was fine, but just that kitchen water. So I don't think it'll bust the pipe since the hot water is still going. But I don't think, and the fridge still got water. So yeah, it's out there. So I ain't got really nowhere to go during the day. But so as I was saying, I saw these at the mall. I must have saw them Wednesday. So I saw them Wednesday at the mall. And I was like, damn. And I saw that they were my size. So I took my wife to Macy's later that day because I thought maybe she wanted to look at the purses because they are quite a sale. And, we got a little walk in. We end up going to Dick's because it's on the other side of the mall. And so we didn't really see, great sales other than Jury had some pretty good sales, but we didn't see any great sales. So we went into Dick's. That's where we parked. So going in, so coming out, I looked and they had this shoe there, and I was like, "Oh wow, these shoes are sold out." And he was like, "Yeah, this is the only pair. We got this pair, and we got a size 11s in the back." So I tried them on that night, and I was like, "Okay." I put it back, and yeah, the next day I had to go in there and get that mug. So I know what I said, but sometimes you just got to get it. And as it says, it was a display. It was on display. But this is Air Jordan Retro 11s, white, legend blue, black. And I must say, y'all, I was very impressed with the quality. I compared this to my low tops. This quality is better than the low tops. When I put my inserts in them, they'll be a lot more comfortable even then. But I just been going over this shoe. This one I got is pretty flawless. Now again, I bought this shoe first. I think they came out. My son was born in '95. He was a toddler, so they must have came out in '96. And I bought when they came out in '96. I've said before that was like a Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, they came out. They must have came out that Saturday. Yeah, and so I got a pair for me, and I got a pair. My boy was a toddler, so he's about a year old. So I got him a pair and me a pair, and I got the socks to match. I had the light blue Carolina blue socks to match these, but the quality is so much better than what I thought. I was really surprised when I tried it on. I was like, wow. And as I go over the shoe, because I get, they sell the 6 rings, and I gave my friend, when I went to South Carolina on my honeymoon, I gave my friend, one of my classmates came to see me. He lived in Fayetteville, and I gave him my 6 rings. But these are made better. So these are made better. So I know PJ said he had a pair, so, I had to get them. So that puts me at 3 pair for the year. That puts me at 3 pair this year. And, you know, shout out to Dapper Fam. You got to get Godfather hats. You got to have the box to put it in. So I've been wanting a white or egg white Godfather hat. Now, you know, my other hats are all like creased here, and the Godfather hat is just creased straight back. And, you know, you can kind of, Godfather hat, you can kind of do all you want with it. I mean, you know, you can't go wrong with a Godfather hat, and I got a super deal on it. So I've been wanting this color because, you know, I got a white fur, and my storm coat is white. So I had to get this. And remember, with wool, you know, you want to protect them. You don't want that dust hitting your hat. So last pair of those I only wore. You know, the last pair of those I only wore one time at the Memphis Grizzly game. I went to a year ago. They changed the way the patent leather goes up by the Jumpman to match the OG. Ah, okay. Now, like I talk about the evolution of I think the 11s was, let me get this right. No, maybe the 11s, but they were more comfortable than the previous one for sure. They were definitely more comfortable than the previous year when I got the 11s, than the 10s. Let me see. Oh, okay. So the retros. Yeah, these were a little better shoes. So the 10s. Yeah, the 10s are those. Yeah, so it was a little better shoe than the 10s if you look at what they gave you inside of it. A lot of the same zoom kind of look. And this was a slightly bulkier shoe, I think. But very similar. Very similar. Very similar. And I think I was wearing, let me see, when these came out, I think I was wearing Iversons when 10s came out. Yeah, 95. What was I wearing before I bought the 11s? I'm not sure. Can't quite remember. I know them Iversons and Shaqs was probably around there somewhere. But it's funny you say the part of it. Okay, I can feel that. They don't feel the same. I think the only ones that I would say is probably a better shoe than the original one is twos. The new twos I think were better than the original twos. I can wear. I put my insoles on those twos. I love wearing the twos. I mean, the leather is really firm, and the air. Because I think by then it was a full length air. I think by then, air unit in the front and air unit in the back. Maybe I'm wrong, but to me they're more comfortable than what they were back then. And back then they look way too heavy. So I never wore twos back then. It's just last year it was first time buying twos, and I bought a couple pair. I like them so much. So right now there is a pair of Air Force Ones I kind of like, but I don't know if I need them. Thank you. I had to get another white one, so I had to get I was just looking for a white Godfather. You know, I got married in the black Godfather hat, so I didn't get married in it, but we took a bunch of pictures of me wearing it. So, and I've had my black Godfather hat. My son graduated in 13. I think I had it then. I think before he graduated, I think I bought that because I bought an orange Godfather hat, which was really the style I never really liked. It was too big. Some Godfather hats are just too big. The bill is just too big. The brim is just too big. I like that one. I like a smaller Godfather hat. A black one is that. So, but I think I bought that hat in 10. 10, right? 10. I think my Godfather hat that I got in the box, and I've had it in the box his whole life. or the whole time I've had it at least, is it's probably 14. Yeah, it's probably 14 years old. This is before my daughter. I bought it before my daughter. So, and I have one hat I've had since definitely. I had another hat I bought in 9 or 10. As a matter of fact, might even be before that. We got divorced in 10, so I think I bought that hat in 9. Because it took us about a year to get divorced. Because of the children's. So those was the latest acquisitions, the latest that I got. So up to 3 pair. Let's see how many I can keep it at 3 pair. Because I still got like 4 pair of shoes I ain't even wore. I haven't wore those yet. I've got a pair in the closet I haven't wore. And of course I haven't wore those. So I put them on, but I ain't wore them out. And I tend like now when it's so cold, I definitely ain't wearing tennis shoes. I'll be wearing a pair of boots. If I go play pickleball tomorrow, I ain't playing pickleball tomorrow night because of the game. I wonder what time the game comes on. Let's see. I forgot all about that. Here we go. Hey, Siova, what's happening?
You can't get too close to Michael. It's a foul.
Oh, this ain't it. Oh, here we go. What time does the game tomorrow? Let's see. Because it's on ESPN. Let's see. Anybody know? I couldn't believe Lamar dumped that ball on the floor like a fumble. Yeah, he definitely just threw that down. I showed that earlier. He definitely just threw that down. And just like dude missed the ball at the end. And it was such an acting job. He had to turn around, fall down, OSU versus NDC. That's basketball games. Here we go. TV. Let's see. What time? I think this is giving me the time. Watch. What time? Monday evening at what time? Okay, this giving me all this. ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News. They putting it on all ESPNs. Herb Street and Fowler got the championship game. 6:30. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it tomorrow. The game comes on my time at 6:30. Probably closer to 7. It's 6:30. So 6:30. I'm not playing pickleball tomorrow then. Cause it takes me about 20 minutes to go there, and I'm not gonna get any game. So 6:30. 6:30 my time. Wow, it's coming on super early. 6:30. Okay. So I guess I ain't playing pickleball tomorrow. I guess so. They rest of the nation 7:30, 8:30, 9. People having to go back. Okay, I feel you. I feel that's why it was so late. I'm definitely sticking to Ohio State. I just, when they lost to Michigan, that made me say they're going to let him win. I think they're going to win it. I think they're going to beat Notre Dame. I think defensively, it's going to give Notre Dame a lot of issues. I think defensively. And offensive, again, now what we just saw Texas do, Texas took number 4 out the game. Now does Notre Dame, can they give the same attention to that number 4 double teaming him ever play? See, Texas, I think, had enough talented players to make up for having to double team him. I don't know that Notre Dame does. Now, they have got a couple brothers that's on the line that's pretty solid, but I just think overall Ohio State outmatches them. So we'll see. And again, number 4 didn't play very well in the semifinal. So I think he's due for a breakout game. I think, I don't think they knew the extent and the athletes that was going to be double teaming him. I think they wasn't prepared. because he was, Texas had some brothers, maybe not quite fast as him because he's fast and big, but they had a couple of them that could stay with him. Now, if looking at Notre Dame's DBs, I don't know that they can stay with that cat. So we'll see, though. We'll see. I just think Ohio State gonna win it because anything less, I've said the coach was about to be fired. If this coach, I say now making the championship game, he's probably saved his job, but I don't know. I don't know because you can't like Woody Hayes said, your career is based on how many times you beat Michigan, and he done lost to Michigan 3 years in a row. But looking at this year of that happening, I really, when I saw that game, I said, they watch them win the national championship because they were still ranked higher than Michigan, even though they lost to Michigan. And I was like, watch them win the championship. So that's the way I see tomorrow playing out. I see Ohio State getting it. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I see. Oh, you gonna send me something? Okay. Oh, it says Under Armour prematurely releases shirt celebrating national championship win for Notre Dame. Ooh. It says Notre Dame is the underdog, but don't tell that to Armour. They released T-shirts on Friday celebrating the national championship. Ooh. And that could be a fake out too. That could be a fake out. Not saying it can't happen because again, everything is real and fake at the same time. But that could be a fake out. Let's see what else I had. I didn't have a whole bunch. And what's funny, remember, I really thought Detroit was going to win when Teddy Bridgewater came. Because remember, I said Daniel Jones or Teddy Bridgewater might pull a Nick Foles. But Teddy Bridgewater only played a couple plays. And another thing is like the hit on golf. The hit on golf should have been called. Remember when it was the Cardinals was playing the Saints and the Cardinals was driving and Warner threw an interception. Well, they put a rule in because the dude who still plays, that brother that's still on the Saint lines, I can't think of his name, he blindsided. And they remember, they told you they was going after people trying to hurt them. And they put Kurt Warner out the game, blindside hitting. That dude who's still playing today, he must have been a rookie back then or a first or second year player, but he hurt Kurt Warner on purpose. Remember, the Saints broke Brett Favre's ankle on purpose. They called a roughing the passer, and then the very next play they broke his ankle and they didn't call nothing. So that hit on golf definitely should have been a penalty, and they didn't call it. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can find this. This is a story I came across. Let's see if I can find this. Yes, it could be the one I saw when the Patriots won year. I told you. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Let's see if we can find this. Let's see. Here we go. I don't know. Did y'all hear about this? I found this just on Google. Alleged shooter in Millbank nursing home was in training. New details surrounding the shooting in Millbank earlier this week at a nursing home that landed one person in the hospital and another in jail. According to probable cause statement written by the investigator, Carrie Collins allegedly shot her supervisor in the face after she became disgruntled while being trained. According to court papers obtained by the news, Corey Collins was a newer employee at the nursing home and was in process of being trained. The investigator wrote she had been written up once and was likely to be written a second time due to her talking over other employees and talking about nursing home details of the clients in the place, talking too much. Spoke about her behavior and told her they were going to take a lunch break. That's when Collins told her she needed to get lunch out of her car. She went to her vehicle and returned a short time later and went to the nurse's desk. The report says several employees heard a loud bang by Collins by the desk and waving a black pistol and yelling at a woman. The witness inside the nursing home thought she yelled something to the effect of, "You taking money from me and my children?" The victim was seen bleeding from the face and was rushed out of the building by other employees. Earlier this week, told me a police enforcement officer responded immediately and took action. Did the nursing home have to take an emergency? I think everybody acted properly. Okay. So she is charged with attempted murder and aggravated assault. Wow. Shot her in the face. Now, yeah, shot her in the face. And this is what's interesting is the lady who did the shooting was a registered nurse. She was an RN. Yeah, she was about to get fired. This article don't say she was getting fired. The other article I got, she was definitely getting fired. I don't know if I saved it. I don't know if I saved this article or not. Let's see if I saved it. No, I didn't save it. Nope, I did not save it. Yeah, I didn't save it. Yeah, I thought I saved it and I didn't. Well, let's see. Nope. Oh, was I going to say talk about this? I know I'd be bringing up, stuff. So it says NSA reaches limit of the Big Bang and finds something unusual. There are 40 more. And I guess the most important part of this is, let me see. They try to tell you that it's a Big Bang, but what they found out is that in black holes can warp time. They can warp time. And they found more than one that can do it. They described as they can bend time. And so the evolution of, discovery of the curving of light by cosmos. The amazing thing of discovery is there are 44 different stars magnified, galaxy clusters, which hurl gravitationally light path bending the magnification principle. The galaxy cluster was brought more forcibly into the front and closer to Earth. To do this by distorting everything, it had to bend time once all the light went out as though the stars were very much closer. This was enough to create an Einstein ring, of which one similar to the Layman is based on the theory in 1915. Hence, it is called gravitational lensing, that uses gravitational field of a massive object to magnify light to a background distant star. The dragon acts like if it's sitting in line and let gravity fall over the galaxy, and it curves at specific viewing. So it actually comes closer. So that could be on purpose too. That means, so it says, by using color, the stars with arcs, many of them are red supergiants, which are quite massive, nearing the end of their lives. They have not known that characters are not always found in stars or distant. Gravitational lensing has a cosmic twist to the study of stellar details, where earlier considered impossible to detect. And again, this is one thing that we can say that the ancients looked at it, that we looked at. That's, again, I talked about this the last couple times been on, as astrology is something that has always been practiced by man, no matter how old. We know the Mayan, we know the Olmec. We know these ancient people in Kemet, these ancient people South America, these ancient people all over the world kept track of stars. I mean, you can go back hundreds of years, and astrologers, you can see what they were looking at. That there's even some stellies with the Mayans. You can see, these kind of charts that they talk about where is what and what. And of course, the tribe in Africa that has been tracking it since millennia. That tribe in Africa, and they knew about things that they just learned with telescopes. But yet this tribe and the Dogons in Africa know these old star periods, and they knew how the planets was aligned and everything. And there's no proof that they ever had any type of magnification abilities. Now, of course, when you live where there's not a lot of lights, you can just have a little thing, and like a little pee hole and look through it, A lot of, especially from an elevated position, and you can, chart the stars. And there are some planets sometimes you can see by eyes. But there were people that did this. This is all they did for given where they lived. It's just charted the stars every day. And I bet the Vatican's got a bunch of books about these star charts. Because, they went on that Warehouse 57, what that was called, where they was going out. They didn't say it was the Vatican do it, but the Vatican did exactly what the Nazis tried to do. What was it called? Jones, Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Remember, they was always fighting Nazis trying to get these relics. And the Nazis got a lot of them relics, but Catholic Church got a lot of them too. And that I think Warehouse 50 something it was called. And that told the story about how they were going out. And if there was any report around the world, again, these mugs are showing up trying to take it. Because it's like if you look at why do the Mormons have their power? Why did they give them a state? A people that was kicked out, the originator or the creator of the Mormons got hung. Smith got hung in Ohio for being a fraudster. But they went into their mounds and found something of value. And something of value that America gave them a whole state. They was like, go ahead, go in there and slaughter all the people. And you can have it once you slaughter all the people. So they hold some kind of ancient artifact for them to be given a state and pretty much left alone. So there's something they hold of value. And then remember, they want your DNA. They are one of the biggest, the Mormons are one of the biggest collectors of DNA in the world. Because they definitely want to know. I remember I worked with a Mormon dude. He's like, hey, I'll do your genealogy. Why do you want to? Because they want to really see who you related to. They want to see what bloodline you come from. Because they evaluate, you guys may not think about this, but you're important because of who you're related to and where you come from. And your bloodlines. That's what makes, you're important. I mean, we may seem like we're not a star or anything, but it's not about that. It's about where do we come from? What DNA was put in us? What kind of information was coded through our DNA and given to us as an individual? That's why we're unique. That's why, we are so envious by all these other beings. It's because we're unique like that. We have all that going on in us. Each and every one of you. So that's why they want to know. They want to say, hey, you got a possibility of getting deep on us? Is that going to come out? So that's why they want to watch, and that's why they want to know who you are. Because they look at these traits from your ancestors and they're like, wow, that is there. We're going to have to keep an eye on him. And I know they followed me since I was young, Not to say, I wasn't had handlers because a lot of people don't understand how handlers work. In sports, you get handlers early. That's just how it works. I knew it was a family friend that he knew me. He knew my mother before I was born. So lifetime family friend, but he was definitely a handler. And then the guy I worked at the water department with, again, when I went to A&T, again, they keep an eye on you. Good guy, but he was a Mason. Vietnam vet, good guy, great guy. I don't have nothing to say about it, but looking back at it, he was a handler. He was sent there to keep an eye on me. And I worked for him too. He gave me a job for 3 years. So I worked for him, but I knew him before that when I was playing in college. And I got my buddies a job, It's like my one buddy got drafted, like he always puts how he got drafted by the Lions in the supplemental draft, but he didn't play for the Lions. He got cut. And I guess, you can still say you got drafted. I wouldn't even mention that shit because I never played for him, but that's me. For him, that's a chip in his piggy bank. But if that makes him feel good, and it's a fact, he did get drafted, but he didn't play. There's a big difference. But anyway, that nigga got a job. He worked a couple summers with me there. So, when I would get them summer jobs, I look out for my guys, My friend who was the handler came to me and was like, any of your friends want jobs this summer? I'm like, hey, fellas, y'all want to go work and get this money? We get paid every week. Shit, they work June, July, and mid-August. through mid-August when camp started. So we made good money for back then. For back then, we made good money for back then. So, well, I'm late taking my pills. I went for an hour, 40 minutes. But I appreciate it. I don't think I'm gonna come on tomorrow night. Trying to think, do I want to come on tomorrow instead of having to come on Wednesday? I want to do a little more studying. I want to look at some more film and stuff. Because I already know I got the Eagles going to the Super Bowl. I mean, but I do want to break some things down, and I want to do that when the Super Bowl comes too. Start looking at formations and tendencies of what the team's going to do. I kind of want to bring that in and go over a little film work. So I'm going to try to bring that up, run through these highlights to kind of show you guys what's to look for. Oh man, gold is back up to 20. Must have closed, and then gold. I mean, the market's not going to open back up until Tuesday, but gold was at 27.48, guys. Bitcoin is 107,000 per coin. If you bought in at 6,000, if you bought in at 20,000, I mean, you really got a good look. Now, what's funny is Nike had a big announcement and drop where they sold out, but again, Nike is down to $70.84 a share. Because I might even be able to get a pair of black cats. I saw black cats in the store. They were smaller sizes, but I saw them. I saw them in the stores. And I was talking to a dude I got these Jordans from, and he was like, man, downstairs, they still got them. So I don't think, they say sold out, but I don't know. So I don't know if they still got big sizes because 14s tend to sit longer than 13s. A lot of people seem like they wear 13s. So I don't know. I guess maybe I'll come on for a short time after the game, do some breakdowns. I like seeing formations and stuff and patterns of what they're going to do. Like, I like what the Commanders did. Like, they hit them with trips, and they ran the ball up the middle. So Detroit sees that, automatically that safety's thinking, I got to crash down. And they probably talked about that again. I don't even know if it caught their attention because they didn't run it a whole lot. They only ran it twice. They ran it in the first half that I showed earlier, and then they ran for the touchdown play. So that's why he crashed down instead of staying. Because if you look at the first time they ran that trips, he stays out there with them. That number 32, their safety, stays out there with the trips. But in that play, I was like, wow, I'm looking at this trips, and I'm looking at him crashing down. And then I looked at what play they came. I was like, perfect call. It was the perfect call. And then Brady's like, yeah, why'd you crash down? I had told my wife that when this happened. I was like, watch 32. And sure enough, he crashed down, threw it right to the outside. So it was open. So, but yeah, I think that's all I got, y'all. Yeah, I went on hour, 40 minutes. That's probably more than good enough. Gosh, I usually mix a little bit of spirituality at the end. I mean, it's funny, and this is going to be a little bit of rambling, but it's like watching television. I just got done watching television, and it's like the old television was a show started in September and it ended in May. So like if you go back, like watching Mary Tyler Moore, some of them old shows, the season is something like 40, 50 weeks, like 50 episodes. Now we saw in the fall Snoop Dogg go on one of those shows. When the show's advertised, now he ain't even on it. And it was like almost the shows is half seasons. That's why I was kind of like Saturday Night Live always has where the comedians make each other laugh and stuff, talking shit to each other, make them read each other's lines. I'm like, wait a minute, this shit just started. So now these mugs work basically from February till May. They basically take the summers off. TV is reruns and other pilots. Other shows that didn't quite make it, that's who does in the summer. Then they come back in September, October. And then they work through the New Year's. It's like, whoa, these dudes don't even work that much anymore. At least in the old days, 40, 50 episodes. And now these people, don't hardly work like they used to. Why is that? It's like the old days. They was even in the summertime. Their episodes are still running, unless it's some kind of specials or sports. But they still running. Saturdays you watch Carol Burnett all year, even in the summertime. Old shows, but now they don't even work that much, and they get paid more for working less. Make that make sense. They get paid more to work less. You don't see the 50-year episodes anymore. So that's a part of a breakdown from the old world, that how did it not be in the new world? You would think that they get paid more, they'd work more. But they actually work less. And I only say that is, being 63, one thing I saw the old world. I saw what life was like in the 60s. Again, by 1969, 70, I was in third grade. So it's a lot. I lived through the Vietnam War, the hippie protest, the war protest. I remember hippies, because everybody, started wearing longer hair and wanted to be cool. Really, the long hair didn't go away until, especially for European cats, till I left the college. So the long hair kind of, for European people, and just people in general, brothers, we had the big fros and everything. So I saw that old world, and even the old world of the 70s. That was really where I grew up. I grew up in the 70s. My teenage years till I graduated. I graduated 79. So I saw all the 70s from several different angles. I saw it from a young boy, I saw it to a mid-teenager, and I saw it to a young man. And that world is so different than what we faced. And even the 80s, the 80s seem realer than now. 80s, I was in my 20s. And again, that's when rap music started really coming, the MTV world. Cable started giving you a lot more chances, channels and choices. But still, it was like, even in the 80s, children still played outside most of the day. You didn't really have to worry about the children too much. Many of you probably, you had to come in. What is the old saying? Come in when the street lights come in. Many of you felt those freedoms as children. You remember just being like 10, 11 and just being able to ride around your neighborhood? Don't have no care in the world. Go to the store, get some candy, get you a soda. You back around your bike. Being allowed to go 10, 11, 12, 14 blocks away. Mile or two away from home on a bike. Remember that freedom? Do y'all know what that freedom is like? Just being free. And really no worries. Especially, a group of boys just riding bikes. There's really no worries. Stop somewhere, get a hot dog or something. Then ride back home when you had to be home. I mean, that world is kind of gone. You hardly see, like one place I lived that summer when my daughter was 2, I lived in a place called Eden Prairie. Children full in the neighborhood, you never saw them. All these upper middle class people, because it was an upper middle class neighborhood. Children weren't going outside because it appeared like everybody had video games. I know my boys had video games, but still I was making their asses go to the park and everything. But majority of children, it was a summer without children. That's what I'll say. Other than the baseball games we went to, it was a summer without children. Nowhere did you just see children playing in their front yards, running around the neighborhood. Usually in the summer times, children take over neighborhoods. I mean, if you go back and think about it, if you lived in a fairly big neighborhood, children took over the neighborhoods. It was so many more children than it was adults. The children were everywhere when I was a boy. Especially when I lived in the city, I mean, children were everywhere in the summer times. Like the north side of Kalamazoo, it was just covered with children. The park be packed with all different ages of people. Children. Now, I lived in a time where I could put my brother in the park and let him go when he's 4 or 5 years old. He would play in the sandbox his whole time. We ain't had to worry about him. If he had to go to the bathroom, he was smart enough to walk. He just had to look at one place to cross the street. And then again, it's an apartment, so everybody driving slow anyway. But that old world seems to be gone. I bring all this up, how it mixes into spirituality. It's like all those changes that I went through, it's culture, all the changes that the culture went through. And being alive when the civil rights stuff was popping. I mean, those times, it's like what's failed, do you understand, is there's a bitterness too from living in the 60s and 70s. There's a bitterness that just doesn't leave from living in those time periods. Because again, I'm baby boomer generation. I'll be 64 this year. And it's hard, like people say you got to get over it, but how do you get over it? When you firsthand saw the ugliness that this country is, or this ugliness that it showed, and you saw it firsthand. I mean, the terror of sending, like just think of you 18, 19, and they send you to Vietnam. When you 18, 19, the average age of Vietnam vets was 19. It was a boy in Vietnam a brother that lied on his age. He was only 16 and got killed in Vietnam at 16. Youngest American that got killed. 16 years old, lied about his age. So can you imagine that, having to go fight and try to survive at 16? And all they do is take you in the jungle, teach you how to shoot, teach you how to follow orders. As I said, that war was just an attack on the baby boomers. As time goes by. And then the war protest. How the college students who was the ones going to war, even though most of them had deferments, didn't have to go. If you was in college, you didn't have to go to Vietnam. You got a deferment till you graduated. Like what they say, Trump was kept out 4 times. When he became eligible, they'd lie and say he had bone spurs and all this to keep him out. Paying money to keep him out. But for the people that didn't have money, and then they was putting motherfuckers in jail. Like what Ali got charged with was 5 years in prison. And he never went to jail because he appealed the decision and won. He won on a technicality because the FBI taped him illegally. That's how he got out of that of going to jail for dodging the draft, refusing to go. Because again, if the heavyweight champ don't go, just make it matter all the people be like, hey, he ain't going, I ain't going. Back then you could go to Canada and get away. Canada wasn't sending you back then because they was against the war. But imagine the terror of just graduating, starting your life, and they telling you got to go do the service. And the odds of you getting killed is very high. Now, again, there were, I think, 3 million people rotated out of Vietnam and 50,000 got killed. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but there were still individuals that got killed. And then in the wounding, I mean, I think it's hundreds of thousands of people got wounded. So my point is all this is part of the culture and the societies I saw. And how, despite all this, trying to keep my spirituality high and not have any bitterness to the world. But that's, you can understand. It's like you look at the culture and what we've been through, it's hard to get rid of all that. And it's never an attack of the one person. It's not somebody out here, it's their fault. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not any one person's fault. It's a culture. Now, the way they are now, they're supposed to say, we supposed to forget, and they forget. They don't even want it taught anymore. You forget, we forget. It wasn't us. We didn't do it. But it does, and it's not like we all want handouts, but it does seem like there was a wronging. And then you turn around on these people that wasn't in America as long as the people on the East Coast. You turn around and those people that end up being the Plains people, you want to give them money and let them be self-sufficient. Them ain't their original lands. Them ain't their original lands. Them lands you put them people on. And so it really is just like the people that was on the East Coast get ignored. They really get ignored. Like, it's a few reservations up and down. Turtle Grange, they have a reservation and some land. But for the original people, no such thing. Like I put, the lady said, what did she say?
No idea the condition that we're in, the psychoneurosis that we suffer. We suffer a terrible, terrible blight. We don't know who we are. We use European names, and we just are comfortable with our condition.
And that's it. We're comfortable. I mean, again, we're comfortable being a people that are occupied. You know, what did King say? A stranger in our own country. That's how they make us feel. It's like we're strangers in our own country. Now, I have a relative who was born in the 1600s in America. And so that gives me the 1500s too. You know, because you get 4 generations. For every generation you can find, you get 4 generations going back too. And so there is that underlying thing that's going to always be there. Now, is there anything that can really rectify it but the American way? You gave them people for Japan, you put in them camps, you gave them bread. For locking all them up and putting them in camps, you gave them bread. You gave the Germans bread. The Jewish faith Germans, American taxpayer money gives them bread every now and then. And what happened to them didn't happen here. But they find a way to get bread out of taxpayer bread. But you're saying that the people that you lied on the history, you had a European make up this Africa stuff in England, and y'all brought it over here, and then you put it in practice. And the worst thing is when the educational system was taken over, it was taken over by the daughters of the Confederates, who was the ones that was building all them statues, even though they lost the war. And they the one putting stuff in histories. They the one that's still glorifying these Southerners' treasons. Now, I've said before, brothers fought for the South. No doubt about that. Brothers fought for the South. And I've talked many times. I wish I still had that article that I found that talked about the first Battle of Bull Run. And the Union soldiers talking about how much they hate those black devils because they were surprised that brothers was fighting them. And that was the very first battle. Bull Run, Bull Run is the very first battle. Fort Sumter is where they just attacked the fort. But the very first battle head to head was the Battle of Bull Run. And the Northerners got defeated. And black soldiers helped defeat them. So, not saying that they didn't. And so that does leave, you know, all that suffering of DNA does get passed on. And anyone says it doesn't, it doesn't. Pain is something that kind of can go from generation to generation to generation. Like you've heard of generational curses. And I mean, you know, this is the fucked up part about generational curses. If you don't, a lot of times they be wrote in stone. And you got to physically remove them out of it, the stone place that holds that curse. That's how it's like you almost got to go in there with a chisel and knock that motherfucker out. That's how serious generational curses are. Someone's put that, deposited the curse. So you have to find out where that is and chip that out of your family line. Because that's what a generational curse is. It's got to be written in stone somewhere. So you have to find that stone and knock that shit out. That's one way to break it. That's the only way I really know how to break it. That's how I broke mine. So I'm telling you, that's how I was able to break it. I had to find where that shit was at and actually break it out of stone. And so, spiritually, these thoughts don't go away no matter how spiritual you are. The bitterness never really goes away. It's like a person that went to prison. That prison never goes away. The idea that you was in prison this time, it stays with you. That bitterness of the circumstances that put you in there kind of stay with you, even though you've changed but it still kind of stays with you. And so, the thing is how do you keep your vibration high? Like my wife and I are arguing about politics again, because it lowers my vibration, it lowers hers, because she gets upset. I just be talking shit. I don't really get upset about the shit. I really don't give a fuck. And it's all a game. It's nothing real about it. Politics is the fakest of the fake. If they didn't want the country to be how it's turning to be, they had the power to they had the power to really put that chick in. If they wanted that chick in, they had the power to do it. They put her boss in. And how corrupt he was. And they don't talk about how corrupt Joe was. Joe had to pardon his son to make them pivot. It's like, oh, I guess he was corrupt. But that's how they always look out, And so the everyday is the fight to just keep the vibration high, try to stay positive, try to stay loving. Because the world is still, no matter what this is, illusionary, real, it is still full of humanoids. And we as humanoids have to work together to function. I mean, it's like we have to go into the roles that are led out there. And the roles is change, We have to still go out and survive and fit in where we have to fit in temporarily. Whatever it is you have to do to make it. Because, we can't look at the world as everyone's evil, everybody's against us. Because that ain't entirely so. Sometimes the world don't really even give a fuck about you. And there's invisible people, really, that just don't want to be noticed, have very few friends, and they just live as, like they say, as a background character. And that's what they prefer. They prefer to be a background character. And so as you just, you face your daily life, juggling your job, family, relationships. I mean, people forget, like when you're first to new parents, that's a lot of work. Those first 2-3 years is a lot of work. Those first 6 months. I mean, if you look at infants that pass, there was a time you just put the baby on the mattress and the baby might die, SIDS. Because the mattress suffocates the baby. The baby might turn away, suffocate in the mattress. And you think you've done everything you're supposed to do. You just go in there and check on the baby and the baby's dead. That's a heartbreaker for a young life that, never really got a chance to take off. And the parents really didn't do anything wrong. Doesn't happen very often, but it happens. Because there's no book to really tell you how to make that human survive other than your natural instinct. Luckily, it helps if you had little brothers and little sisters, similar circumstances. But think of that responsibility. That's a hell of a responsibility. To bring a baby up to a year old. All you had to do to help guide that baby. And then when you get older and you see, wow, I guided this person till this person was 18. And what they do, good or bad, I did my best. I still got a, teenage daughter. And I know, too often I'm mad at the world. But the world is not a terrible place. I'm probably the best place in my life. I'm where I'm supposed to be. It's exactly where I'm supposed to be at the right time, at the right place. I'm extremely thankful. Every day I'm thankful. And I'm still, basically the same person I was. I always bought clothes. I always bought shoes. That's the thing that's just nonstop. I've always done. Probably amplified now. You know, I try to meditate. I just got some more She Legit. I didn't drink coffee. When I had my surgery, I didn't drink coffee for a couple of days, even the decaf. I think I ran out of cream or something. So the bottom got really hard. This stuff is like, if you keep it in it stays soft because sugar, I used to get little chunks of it. Where you had to literally break the shit off or hammer it off or whatever. This stuff is a little softer if you keep it sealed. It stays a little softer, but if you let it in the air, that shit gets hard to motherfucker. And that's still, I think that helps spiritually. It comes from plants. Some people talk, but I think spiritually that helps. Told you about, if you got a problem with your Johnson, that shit works. That shit helps. That helps. And taking them unnatural things, make your heart rush and shit. And so I've said many times, and I'll say it again, it's self-love. You know, you really got to love yourself. Before you love yourself, it's hard to love others. Confidence is being. That's what confidence is being. You know, be here now. Be here now. To dream of the person you want to be is to waste the person that you are. So dream about being the way you are. Nothing wrong with having extra goals, wanting to achieve. But be here now. I have to always remind myself, be here now. And so many people, you know, are uncomfortable with their own thoughts. That's why we're on the phone so much. We don't even want to be bored anymore. We don't even want to be bored. I've said that many a nights. We do not even want to be bored anymore. Man, remember how miserable people used to be walking around the streets? Motherfuckers be walking and shit. Now, even when it's cold, you see motherfuckers holding the phone up with their gloves and they walking like, not bored, not bored, not bored. I got my phone. Often wondered, why didn't you get a car for a phone? But I understand this life we're in now, you got to have a phone. But it's like, you see them, you know, waiting for their bus stops. They like, I'm not bored. I'm not bored. You know, you be on a bus stop. Now motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers phone be right here and have the headphones in. They don't give a fuck. I mean, we don't even allow ourselves to be bored anymore because we got something to feed us. And what we just went through, I don't have TikTok. I ain't never had it. You ain't never seen me in no TikTok, doing no TikTok. If you saw me in a TikTok, somebody put me in it because I ain't never did that. I ain't never have it as an app. I've seen the reels that's on Facebook, and I've seen the shorts that are on YouTube, but I ain't never been on TikTok. And the way people were really tripping, and I think it was an experiment. I really do. I think it was just an experiment to see the reactions from the people, and to see how the advertisers was going to win and lose. You know, it's what, 14 hours was off. So I think that's another part, is they were seeing how the ads were going to be affected, the money that's made and the information that's gathered. I think it was an experiment of all those things. And that's the biggest thing, was how much bread was somebody going to lose because they wasn't on. That's the biggest thing. And keep in mind, this, you know, I've said this a long time ago. What the country might come in is bits. So it's going to come a time where bits are going to take up oxygen, where the machines, and that's the problem, like with Bitcoin, the machines, the servers it takes up a lot of energy to mine Bitcoin. And it needs natural resources to run. A lot of natural resources. Sometimes to put them servers in there, the mining equipment, I mean, you can light a city with this. And so this machine, this beast, is going to build more and more of them that are going to take up more and more space. And that thing is going to be to fed and keep that system going. It's going to take a lot of natural resources. And it might come a time where this world don't even have oxygen anymore because the machine's just running. So printing dollars ain't near expensive as running Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a very expensive process. I mean, if you want to have mining machines, I mean, you know how much you got to pay your electricity? It's almost like you got a plug-in car. You set up 2 or 3 mining machines. See how much that costs you, how much your bill will go up. So, well, I guess that's enough. 2 hours is enough. Kind of don't know about tomorrow night. I don't know if I want to come on tomorrow night, then come on Wednesday, or I could pivot. I don't know, because tomorrow night, I might have to get up early Monday. So early Tuesday. So I'm going to play it by ear. Maybe I'll come on for a short time to talk about, just do a short show and just talk about some of the X and O's that I saw. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do that. I can come on for a short time. So those of you that like to follow, you can come check me out tomorrow. Again, this is Big Pontiac. This is the Chocolate Mountain Show. Thank you for watching. Thank you for saying stuff. Giving the chat up. I appreciate it. And whenever you get to see this, thank you for